Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. The Conklin fountain pen that I will be using today, it's kind of on my favorite list. I definitely like the original, the vintage Crescent fountain pen, but never really got the chance to get one. Especially with the prices that, they are selling for nowadays, especially for one that it's in good functional order. So when Conklin decided to do a new model of the Crescent, I was all for it, and as such, I ended getting one. The fountain pen stays pretty true to the original design, with the only main difference being that the body of the fountain pen is made out of plastic rather than ebonite. For some, that might be a downside rather than an upside. For me, it's okay, I guess. I could go either way. Probably more the plastic way, since sometimes I can't really deal with the ebonite smell. Sometimes. Plus, some people in my life don't really like the smell of ebonite, and sometimes that smell can linger on your fingers for a while after you use the pen. If plastic or ebonite is not your thing, though, and you prefer a more weighted down version of it, they do also have a brass version if you are interested in it. The only problem with that is that it's a limited edition, so they're a little bit more rare, and they do sell at a higher price point. I specifically like that they kept the chase pattern on the body of the pen. It gives it a pretty neat effect and that vintage look. I also love the rocking clip that the pen comes with. Also the cap, it's twist to open and opens up quite nicely and quickly without any fuss. And on top of that, it also posts quite nice deep, and the pen still has a pretty good balance. It's not that badly top heavy. Overall, the weight of the fountain pen is really perfect in my opinion. Not too light, not too heavy, just right, at least for my hands. In essence, this fountain pen is pretty much a modern take on a sack type filling system fountain pen. The novelty of it is that you have a push bar that squeezes the sack inside the barrel, and when released, the sack expands, sucking in ink. The trade-off of the design is that you don't really have an ink window for it, and or any way to check and see how much ink you have left. Something that doesn't bother me, but good to be aware of if this is a major thing for you. The fountain pen also comes with a nice Yovo nib, as far as I know, that was specifically designed for this fountain pen with a crescent cutout on top of it. It feels quite stiff as a nib, and I think the only big let down for it is that it comes with the generic Chinese feed rather than the nicer one from Yovo. The other downside from my perspective is that the clip is not lining up with the crescent filler one cap, and as such makes it for a very odd and unbalanced visual aesthetic. And maybe for me was more of an annoyance, especially after seeing so many reviews before deciding to buying the pen, of how perfectly aligned everything is on the pen, especially the clip with the crescent on the barrel. Well, not true, and I have the proof. My copy was a regular copy, bottom line, not a review model. Might be true for a lot of them, as in being aligned, but not for mine, unfortunately. For today's ink, I am using the Monteverde Midnight Black ink. Since I am using a Conklin fountain pen and Monteverde is pretty much part of the same company that owns them, I thought it might be a good match. Plus, I have not used this ink for a while and I wanted to, try it again. I struggled a little bit with the filling part. I noticed that I haven't put the band in a perfect alignment with the metal crescent, so it was actually getting stuck when he was trying to return after pressing it. So the pen was not really filling properly. I managed to get it going, but something to be aware of. Like I mentioned, this pen can be a little bit fiddly to fill it up. The biggest surprise for me when I originally ordered this pen and finally got to try it in a month or so after buying it was that the nib is actually a broad nib, as you can see from the writing example. I mean, I think it's broad, that is how it feels to me, but it might as well be medium. There is no nib size imprinted on the nib as far as I can see. I did originally order the extra fine, but that is not what I got. This is one of the reasons why I haven't really used it that much, even though I do like the fountain pen. I can fix the nib, it's just I gotta get around it and do it. I can grind it into a smaller size, but then again, I also forgot about it. And I kind of remembered as soon as the nib touched the paper now. So yeah, I will try and make do with it as is. And hopefully I'll remember in the future to grind down that nib. Should be a nice challenge for the drawing since I do not usually use broad nibs. I guess it's okay to get out of your comfort zone from time to time. The good thing about it though is that the reverse has a pretty nice fine line to it. I guess a good cheat. I'll probably be using it on reverse a lot. Other than the size, the nib actually works very well on my copy with an excellent flow of ink and nothing really to complain about it, other than the size. Before I get into the drawing for today, I just wanted to apologize to those of you that depends on subtitles for my videos. It looks like YouTube has removed that option for me. They used to auto-generate subtitles and then I was reviewing them and updating them properly so it actually captured what I was saying rather than weird stuff. Unfortunately, it looks like now they have removed that option and I'm getting ineligible. I don't know as to why. Also, it looks like they literally removed all the subtitles from all the videos before, including the ones that I have updated in the past on other videos and uploaded myself. Every single one was removed. More than a year of working on subtitles and uploading them. Why? I don't know. There was not even basically a heads up on this, so at least I have the chance to back up all those subtitles for my videos. The sad part is that I do not have backups, like I mentioned, and I never thought I would need them, right? So I'm kind of at a loss. I'm not able to re-upload them and go back and do them again. I don't know if now they made it like a premium feature or available only to those that are monetized, but I guess it is what it is. I know that I'll probably never get monetized, which I'm okay with that. So I guess I'm gonna have to try and find a different solution, but it might take me a little bit of time to get there. But I will try. It's just that I can't go back 2 years and re-upload everything on each video again. Just do not have the time. I will add notes in my descriptions of the videos until I find a solution, and starting from that point on, I will try and re-upload the subtitles. And this time, I guess I will try and back them up and keep them for my own records in case they decide to do anything else in the future. Again, I apologize, but unfortunately I had no saying in the matter and YouTube will YouTube, I guess. Anyway, going back to the drawing, I was a little bit at a loss on what kind of drawing I should do with this fountain pen. I had a few ideas bouncing around in my head, but could not settle on any specific one. But as I was looking at the last drawing session that I posted this past Sunday, I decided to try again that idea that I have seen on the Instagram. Basically what the original artist did in their art, they used a few watercolor droplets on the paper. Then they wet the paper above and below the dots and then dragged with a wet brush that color into the wet area of the paper, and basically they just let the color spread out on the white part of the paper. I really like that effect, and especially that nice feathering effect that it had and how the color was spreading across the page. So I tried to attempt it, but I guess didn't really work out in my drawing session. I tried to attempt it again today. The only difference from the original artist is that I won't be using wet paper, and I will just try and attempt the effect by drawing scribble lines on the paper. It won't be the same, but I was hoping to at least get close to that effect. I guess the main difference between that technique and mine is that mine takes longer and the end result doesn't have such a nice color gradation. So basically I'm working harder, not smarter. And the other big thing is that eventually it still actually kind of evolved into a completely other thing as well. So I lost anyway. The bottom part is closer to the idea that I had, and the top part I think was inspired by something else that I've seen on the internet. I think it was a picture, I don't remember exactly. It's just somehow as I was doing the drawing the connection was made, and it made sense as you'll see the end result. Hopefully it made sense to you too. So in other words, today was a mishmash of other ideas that I was inspired from other artists. I love it when we inspire each other, or better said, when I am inspired from others. Does that mean that I really have no original ideas? Probably. I mean, let's be honest, what I do is not that special anyway in the end. I just do it for the fun of it. I guess for my excuse, I'll also use that the width of the nib kind of threw me off a little bit and maybe reconsider what I was planning. I was hoping for a finer line, but that in the end is my fault for forgetting what actual nib size I had on this fountain pen. It crossed my mind to change it to a different nib, but then I remember I said I should be okay with going a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I decided to just let it slide this time. Other than that, the fountain pen actually worked as it should have. That nib is really wet. So wet that it was actually puddling the ink when I was trying to do small rocks, and kept the nib for more than I should in the same spot. No complaints, I love it. It does what it's supposed to do. It's just, again, it's a great nib. I have no complaints. And in the end, I think I got a decent drawing. Good enough for me, at least. And I guess that's another wrap for today. I'm gonna call it quits for now. And as usually, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the time-lapse in peace and quiet. And again, feel free to leave your comments below. I will definitely try and do my best and reply to them as soon as I get the chance. I do apologize again for those subtitles. I'll try and find a solution for it, and hopefully it will be soon. Thank you for joining me today. Hope I'll see you next time, and I wish you all the best and a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.